Hey everyone, today we're going to try Papa's Pilar. It's a rum that I surprisingly have not tried yet. We're also going to talk about the Chef show by John Favreau that the marketing director and I have become absolutely addicted to. So stick around and let me know what you think. With Mike here on episode, I think, what are we on now? 18, 17, something like that. Mike, how are you doing up there?
I'm doing good, John. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. We are just a day or two past Thanksgiving, feeling quite stuffed. The last episode I did, I talked about how I smoked, or I guess honey brined and then smoked a turkey, and it was amazing. I did the same thing again for Thanksgiving for the fam, and we enjoyed that quite well. But I got a lot of stuff going on, and I want to share that. But before I do, I want to talk about the rum for today. And let's see here. Make sure that you can see this. We'll get to this one in a minute. I'll talk about that in a minute. I did some cooking with that, and we'll talk about that. But today we are doing the Pilar. So
Papa's Pilar.
Papa's Pilar 24, right?
Yes.
I will let you go with this one, but I am digging the emblem on it for sure.
So Papa's Pilar. Papa was what Ernest Hemingway was called by his kids.
Yes.
Pilar was his boat.
Oh, I guess I didn't know that.
So Papa's Pilar, Ernest Hemingway was a huge rum aficionado, sailor, everything else. You know, he did it all.
Right.
And so his family created a rum distillery down in Key West and call it Papa's Pilar. So this is ran by the Hemingway estate. His grandson and his son actually run this distillery.
Oh, so that actually explains quite a bit, because the rooster on the front is, you know, the Key West kind of, you know, national bird, for crying out loud. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. And then on the back of it, there's a what I would say is a form of an anchor on the label. So that's pretty. I did not know that.
Yeah. So if you go to Papa's Pilar's website, you'll actually see there's a lot of great old photos. So please visit papaspilar.com.
Yeah.
A really great story about Ernest Hemingway. A lot of the proceeds beyond paying the people at the distillery go to charity.
Oh, nice.
So they make this rum, pay their employees, and whatever's left, just give it to charity.
Oh, that is awesome. Oh, yeah. That is, I like that. Now I'm really excited.
Aren't you glad you didn't do the research on this one?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Man. Well, I mean, you called this one out, and then I was like, I think I've heard of it, but I didn't know that it was a Hemingway thing. And
yeah,
that's kind of my jam. So I pretty fail on my part here. It's a very unique bottle.
So
it's got a different shape to it, where it's concave in the back, and
they have a couple different blends. So this is the one we're having right now is their dark rum, and then they also have one I want to get my hands on it next. It's a Spanish cherry cask rum.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then they have a 70-year-old blonde, which is not a trick statement. You know, people should know that by now.
Yes, I just realized the top of the bottle is the sailor's compass.
It's the sailor's compass. Good Lord, are you not paying attention here?
Yeah, how was this?
What is your problem?
Yeah, I've been like hiding. I mean, this is my bottle all about me right here. Was I hiding in a freaking tunnel somewhere?
Seriously, I think this could be potentially your next tattoo.
The next what?
Your next tattoo.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Now it is not corked.
It is not.
But that is a very heavy I mean, if everybody can see it, it's literally about the size of a silver dollar,
Yeah.
uh, about a half-inch thick. It's metal. It's
Yeah. Just so you know, I mean,
yeah.
that's metal. That is.
So it's, even though it's not corked, it's still, you know, got a pretty strong.
Yeah. And then what's the deal with the belt on the bottom? That's
Yeah, I don't know.
that is neat. I don't understand it. I mean, it
Yeah,
has. I don't
they've
know what
got
purpose
this.
it serves, but it's
They've got this little catch edge of. Oh, you're talking about. So that was the lock mechanism
for what though?
for when you first open it. That's how you know if it's been opened or not. So when you break it, see, watch, the belt comes out.
Oh, when I pulled that thing.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
the
Ooh,
belt comes off, so you know that it's been opened.
that is slick. Okay, so because it doesn't attach to the lid.
No.
Yeah, that's okay. That is pretty slick. All right, yeah, this is getting interesting here. All right, so very heavy lid, and
I mean, you could hurt somebody with this lid, by the way.
oh yeah, yeah.
Make a ninja star out of it.
All right, I am
Getting ahead of me.
sorry. You got me excited now, man.
I know.
All right.
So we're gonna do like we did last time, where I am not gonna say anything. We're gonna see the legs. We're gonna, you know, we're gonna kind of look at it, and I kind of know because I did the research, and I think this works out best for us. That ooh,
So they're not bad legs. I mean, they're not. Either I'm in bad light or I'm not
no,
seeing it at all.
I'm getting some pretty decent ones.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm in. I know it doesn't look like it to the audience out there, but I am in like pitch black. Like I have crappy light right now. But actually, let's try this. Oh yeah, right. Okay, if I look right at the light, I can see some. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, you're. I mean, it's not a lot of legs, but you're getting a good amount of legs.
Oh, that smells good.
It does smell fantastic.
Oh man, I wish I had this a couple days ago.
So tell me, just on the nose, what do you get?
Well, caramel jumps out at me.
Okay.
I almost I almost get like a coffee. But that's probably the dark rum in it. But I mean, I almost get like a coffee or I mean, there's a barrel. It's obviously a barrel. Like, I mean, I can smell some sort of an oak barrel in there.
You can tell that there's hints of other, yeah.
Yeah, but I get like a caramel or like a chocolate or something.
You're getting close.
I mean, something. I every smell I go, is that caramel? Is that like coffee or toffee or something?
Yeah. You're getting close.
That smells really good. I'll tell you.
You're hitting around a lot of the edges. Let me tell you. Yeah. You're hitting around a lot.
This is gonna be like that other thing where you're like, you're so close, and then I went caramel, and you're like, yeah, oh man, and that's all I can smell after that.
Then at the end, I'm gonna be like, that's not it. No.
Yeah.
All right. So on the nose.
Okay.
On the nose.
Yes.
It is complex notes of vanilla, cinnamon, coffee beans, honey, which is where you're probably picking up with the cinnamon and everything else, the caramel kind of way.
Yeah, the caramel.
Okay, with hints of a sherry and a port.
Yes.
So the caramel you're probably getting from the sherry. The port you're going to get. I can pick the honey out right away.
See, I'm still not getting the honey, so I'm probably getting the caramel out of the vanilla and the honey and the coffee together.
I never got. So the first when I sniffed it, before I even looked, first thing I picked up on was honey.
Honey? See,
seriously, honey was the first thing I picked up on.
I'm smelling like
But
I mean, now that you say vanilla, I smell vanilla, like a vanilla coffee.
Yeah, you smell coffee because you called it out right away.
Yeah, but I mean, now that you say vanilla, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I can see this as being I drink vanilla coffee almost every morning, and so I mean, yeah, I can totally smell it now. All right, I gotta taste this because I'm
ready.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh, that's thick. That coats. Wow.
So I can definitely have, I can definitely hit the honey. A sweetness, let's just say it that way.
Yeah, I get brandy now. Or the something
So close.
Something there's another brandy or sherry or something in there. One of them ladies is in there. I can taste it.
She ain't a lady, but she begins with a B.
Is that bourbon? Bourbon cask?
So according to their website for this is, by the way, this is 86 proof. It's really inexpensive. I think it was like up here was like 30, 35 bucks or something like that. Wasn't
Same
bad.
here, yeah.
So it says the taste is intricately flavored. It is a sweet mixed with earthy vegetal tones. That is vegetal, by the way. Mouth coating with a touch of spice, bourbon, almond, and apricot.
Ooh, apricot.
Didn't get. It does say, and I will agree wholeheartedly, a very robust long finish. Absolutely, 100%.
I do not get the apricot. I do get the spices. I was trying to figure out what was like playing like tingles on my tongue, if you will. You know, where it's like
That was the pop rocks you had earlier.
right. So I gotta tell you, I mean, this is a good get. This is gonna be one of my. All right, let me just tell you, not to jump into the cooking stuff, but when I smelled that, the first thing I thought of is something I just started doing. Is, you know, I've got in Omaha, Nebraska, where my dad's from, Pops is from, right, or Pops lives. There's I'm not going to give the name out because I don't want them to know that I have their secret recipe, but there is a super low key steak place. And it's one of these steak places where you order a ribeye for $45. And me being kind of a cheap ass, I'm like, I cannot believe I'm spending $45 for a freaking ribeye. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is me. I've been there like 5 times, and this is me every time. I'll take a ribeye. The guy walks away, and I'm like, buyer's remorse sets in. I'm like, what am I doing? $45 for a ribeye? Like, this is stupid. Like,
Then
come on. Then the guy comes out and he hands me the ribeye. I'm like, there's no. I'm so mad at myself. God dang it! I should order another one. This is. I'm not kidding. It's that good.
I am such a moron. I will. Can I have the menu again?
Can I have another one? Keep them coming. So I knew a guy who knows the guy, and I got the recipe.
Bada boom.
Yeah, I'll make those all the time. And unfortunately, we stumbled onto that recipe after you met my dad, and we had those steaks up there. But
yeah,
one of these days I'm going to make you one.
I gave him back right away too.
Yeah. But I mean, it is a phenomenal, like, drunken ribeye or whiskey ribeye is what it is. But
almost like a drunken marsala, or
no, like you know, like if you go to so what is it, Sweetwater or Saltwater or whatever up by you?
Yeah, Sweetwater Tavern. Yeah,
Sweetwater. I mean, it's like a ribeye like that, only better.
Okay.
I kid you not, it is super good. And to use a phrase, you know, from your neck of the woods, it's wicked good. Okay, wicked good.
Well, that's from Boston, but
north of you, closer to you.
Yeah. It's a wicked pizza. So.
Yeah. So I've been, ever since I had that and I got the recipe, that's like the only way we do steaks. And I've been like, this sucks. And, you know, we've been talking about, like, how are we going to get rum into these recipes? How are we going to get rums into these recipes? And so I found a very similar recipe using dark rum. And I used Myers dark rum. which will be in the episode after this.
Okay.
Whenever I get around to editing that one. I used Myers dark rum, and it tasted great. It tasted so good. I then went around immediately.
So the flavor stayed. It didn't burn off.
Oh yeah, it stayed.
Okay. Okay.
And I would not. I mean, it wasn't overpowering, but it was just like, dang! It turned a okay steak from a grocery store, not a butcher shop, but from a grocery store. It turned an okay steak from a butcher store to a wow, that's really good. So to me, that's saying something, because I hate steak from a grocery store. Sorry.
Yeah.
Meat, no.
Well, no offense.
But I will tell you, I liked it so much that I said, okay, I'm going to try it on a pork. So I got a pork shoulder, pork butt, whatever, and I marinated that thing in there, and then I cooked up a pork butt. And it was super small. I mean, it was probably half the size of this, but very small. It was actually probably about the size of this. Because it's a tester pork, you know what I mean?
That totally means the kids didn't eat that night. Okay, got it.
Right, pretty much right. Well, no, so Alex did, Felicity didn't. But so what I did is I made it, and I didn't bother with the smoker because I was more interested in what the flavor was going to be instead of like injecting it with smoke and this.
Right.
And so I went ahead and threw it in the Instapot and then slow cooked it.
Ooh.
I'm going to tell you right now, that was so good. The kids who are usually like pulled pork sandwiches, throw a bunch of barbecue sauce on it. Nothing. They didn't
want to put anything on it.
Nope. It was so good. They just ate it right like it was. So now, as soon as back to where I started, as soon as I took a sniff of this, I said, "Oh, you are going to be dumped on a steak soon."
I don't know if you say that to the new level. No. I'm gonna dump you on a steak.
Oh, that's good. So let me just
what's
say,
that other bottle you
this.
got there, by the way?
What's that?
What's that other bottle you got over there?
Oh yeah, well let me finish this up and tell you this. This is going to be I'm getting into dark rums thanks to this guy here in Myers, which again is in the next episode. I am now really digging some of the dark rums, the thicker coffee / chocolatey kind of. I'm kind of getting in it, especially. I mean, I'm not going to mix it with my Coke here, right? Get out of here. But yeah. I mean, throw some ice in this and sit back and sip it for a little bit. Oh yeah, you betcha.
So real quick. So of course, John, I'm a huge Notre Dame fan. I'm Catholic. I'm Irish. I got a root for Notre Dame. Screw Boston College. But anyways, I have my tumblers at home, which I ordered a whole new set because 3 of them somehow got broken at the Notre Dame game. But anyways, so my oldest son came over for the Notre Dame game, and he pours himself a tumbler, and I look at it, and it's this kind of color, right?
Oh, nice, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I said that. I know that's not Redbreast. I'm going through my Irish whiskeys, my scotches, and comparing them in my head. And he's like, oh, no, Dad. I just finished the last of the bamboo. He dumped a whole glass. The tumbler was full of bamboo with nothing but rocks, right?
Oh, man.
And he's like, this stuff's really good. Like, does it taste like banana Fosters?
So, all right. So let's talk about that, sir. Let's segue into that real quick. Our marketing director here at RumJohn is amazing. She does so much with the website, so much with Facebook, and when anybody out there is talking to RumJohn, I'm going to tell you 99% of the time you're talking to her. And if it's something to do with rum, she then asks us, and then we answer, or whiskey or whatever. Well, what she did, I have a birthday coming up, and she found a lady nearby here in Indian Rocks Beach who makes rum cakes. And so she's going to make me, or this lady's going to make me a birthday cake. And I had to pick the flavor. I said pina colada. So she's going to make me a pina colada birthday cake. And they had, I will tell you right now, they had like pineapple and banana and all these other ones. But I'm like,
mango,
first off,
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, all that. And I said, first off, I'm not going to do a banana anything unless it's with bamboo.
Fair point.
Light bulb. We called her back and we said, hey, we got this little channel here, and we're looking for someone to make us some rum cake. And she's like, comes back and she goes, oh yes, I see your channel. It's very fascinating. I would love to do that. Let me know how you want to do it. I'll make you a bamboo cake. So she is going to make us a bamboo rum cake.
I'm excited though. It's going to be delicious.
Yes, it's so what I've decided I want to do is, like I said, we have this episode. Val's gonna be back next on the 2nd, so we're gonna do one more episode with all the 3 of us. So that's gonna be the last episode of the season. So the new season will start right before Christmas, and I want to start it with that cake.
Frontal nudity.
That
the cake. Yeah.
Yes.
The cake's probably a better idea. Yeah.
So, segue from that to what this bottle's doing here. I have been watching, Liz and I should say, have been watching almost fanatically. We've been watching The Chef. Have you ever heard of this?
Yeah, with Jon Favreau.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he created a movie, and now he has a show on Netflix. And
so I've only seen the movie. I haven't seen the show.
So now he has a show, and everything he's made in the movie, he and Roy Choi, the guy or Chow, or however you say his name, the guy that trained him how to do the stuff in the movie.
Right.
They are making all those recipes for you, like live, like you and I do, right? Like.
Oh wow.
And so I have started making some of those. So one of the things that they made in this show is a French onion soup. Yep. And I love French onion soup, but
I can't. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I have to try. It could be Panera. I will have French onion soup. It doesn't matter, right? It could be Applebee's, Chili's. I don't care. Or it could be a top 5-star restaurant. I love French onion soup. Please go.
Right. Yeah. And I'm kind of the same way. I love French onion soup, but it's kind of one of those, I don't love it enough to go buy a can of it and then eat it day after day after day after day, right? I love it where I'm like, oh, that's really good. And then I'm done. Or like if I go to Panera, if I have my choice of soups, I'm going to go with French onion because I like that over everything else. But it's also one of those things where I like it, and my wife likes it, and that's about it. My kids don't like it. No, I mean it's kind of a French onion soup is kind of one of those polarizing things. You either like it or you don't.
Yeah, it's a totally you have to acquire the taste for it. You know, it's almost I hate to say it, but it's almost like stout, right? And
Exactly.
I love stout. You have to be acquired to the taste of stout to actually want to have it.
Yeah, I agree. And so what I've been doing, like I said, is making some of these recipes. And I mean, like you were watching it, and I'm like, I can do that. You know, I mean, like there's a couple of them out there, and he does this thing where it's I can't remember what Liz called it, but I'm not into the movie business, but it's something about like old school where it was like still frame or whatever, where they take a picture and then you change something, take a picture, change something. It's that kind of thing, like almost not claymation, but something like that, you know?
Well, it's the claymation slow time duration.
Yeah, it's like still video or something like that.
Still video, yeah.
But he's got his El Jefe truck in there, and it drives on the street, and then it hits a bump, and when it hits a bump, you'll have a dish on the tray, and then it'll hit a bump, and it pops up in the air, and it shows all the ingredients. Well, there's a couple of them where there's so many ingredients, like the entire screen is covered, and you're like, nope.
This looks well beyond 6.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're in the county at like 10, 11. Okay, it's gone. All right, we're done. Like, let's just enjoy it. Oh yeah.
Did you feel like that one commercial where the guy's sitting there and he's pressing his clothes, and then all of a sudden it shows him in the one scene, and you're like, hey, I'm sorry, I totally missed it. Can you go back to that for a second?
Wait, Finn Robinson dies? Yeah. Yeah. Could you do it again? Okay, sure. And yeah, I mean, I was like, wait, what? And when it gets to that point, I'm like, no. Or he does a lot of things with like Roy does a lot of things with kimchi. No, I'm not cooking kimchi. Or not.
Why? I mean, you're just gonna bury it in the ground for a couple.
Yeah,
months.
I'm not burying kimchi. But some of these things he does, I'm like, yeah, I could do that. So he did this French onion soup, and I made it, and so far my wife, my in-laws, my son likes it. I mean, it's that, and then the way that he does the bread inside of it.
Yeah.
Just like, oh yeah, I mean, you know, it's almost like, oh yeah, I knew that. I should have known that, duh. So that's where this comes in. In his recipe, you know, he talks about a lot of the things that people do wrong when they make this, right? And which is they they saute the onions, and he's like, you're not sauteing them, you're jamming them. Which I was like, oh, wait, what?
Jamming them? What is that?
So basically low heat. So you know how when you saute, you get them so that they're translucent, and then they turn brown.
Translucent brown, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Right. So jamming them is you go super low heat and you let it do that very, very slowly, and they kind of get there, but they're not burnt. They got like a sticky, slimy texture to them. It is the first time I've ever seen anything like that. I love onions. I could take an onion and just eat it. So I was like, I've never heard of that before in my life. So so after 45 minutes or so of doing this with the onions, they get slimy and nasty or whatever. And then you put some of this is Paul Mason's apple Grand Amber brandy.
Oh, it's brandy. Oh, okay.
This is brandy. So I know this is off the side for us because we're a rum shop here, but the brandy in it, you mix it with the fond, which is, you know, the burnt stuff on the bottom of the pan, and it creates the kind of this flavor that is unreal. And then and then after that, it's.
I think a lot of chefs though, they use a brandy because it's really, I don't think a brandy's, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't recall on my alcohol connoisseur of flavors, but I don't think it's a high volume of alcohol concentrate, so you're getting more of the flavor involved with it than you are, because I think brandy's like maybe 38%, 40. I don't know if it's
27.
High. There, see, yeah.
Yeah, it's low, but I will tell you, like.
Oh, it smells it.
That smells so good.
It smells it, but I think brandy's meant more for a lot of different.
Yeah, this smells like a. It reminds me a lot of like an alcoholic Jolly Rancher. I mean, the apple in it, you know. And so what Liz did with it is she chopped up apples and put them in the pressure cooker and she made apple cider, and then added this to the apple cider, and that is silly good.
Chef though is on Netflix?
Netflix, yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yes. So watch The Chef on Netflix. It's impressively good at how they actually describe what they're doing. They don't the recipes are hard to get, and what they're doing, I mean, they don't exactly say, okay, now I'm adding this. No, they're like, two guys know what they're doing, and they're just like, okay, we're going to add a quart of this. We're going to add a cup of this, and they just do it. But if you're watching and you're paying attention, you're like, yeah, I could get that. And then you just go and like rewind it and get the list of ingredients and then go forward.
I was gonna say, but do they? If you were to go to like their website, does their website have like all the different ingredients in the?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
That would be nice, is if everything that they're doing. Go to our website and check it out, kind of thing.
So for this recipe, for this French vanilla soup, I couldn't find it. When I typed Google and searched Roy Choi's French onion soup, first off, he's won awards for this French onion soup in the 90s, like tons of awards. And he does it really cool where he takes a giant, big healthy onion, and then he takes a core and he cores out the middle of the onion, and then he pours the soup in the onion. And that's how he serves it to you. I'm like, oh yeah. And he's like, John Favreau asked him, has anybody ever eaten the onion? Like, if you eat the onion, do you get a shirt? And he said, no one's ever done it. I'm like, I looked at my wife and she looked at me and she's like, you totally could do that. I love onion. I can eat an onion like an apple. I'm like, oh.
So when so hold on. When they're doing the onion, right? So they're coring it from the top. They're leaving the bottom totally intact. So there's no.
So it's a bowl.
Seepage, or like it's like a bowl.
Yeah, no seepage at all. It's I mean,
wow.
It is pretty neat. And then they, of course, they do the typical.
Totally better than a bread bowl.
Right, exactly. They put the bread inside of it, and then they put, you know, the typical cheese on top of it and heat it up, and then here you go, you eat it out of that. I'm like, that's
Wow.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So he's won awards on this. I will put up the pictures. The recipe, I Googled it, and I got it from someone else who was watching the show and who's a chef, watched the show, and then wrote it down, and then here you go. And so I followed that, and it, like I said, it was amazing. I mean, it has, I don't know if it's this or if it's the way that you jam the onions versus saute the onions that makes it so that it's like, it has a sweetness flavor to it. Oh man, it was phenomenal.
The
But
whole, I've never heard of the phrase jamming the onions, but the process of how you described it totally makes sense once you think about it.
yeah, I mean, now what I did on accident is this guy said you cut the onions, thin slice the onions.
Mhm.
I like shaved the onions. I should have gone a little thicker, would have been okay, but I'll do it again. I told Liz that I'll do this again and again. So with that, everyone, I appreciate you. Like I said, this is, you know, 2 days or whatever after Thanksgiving. I am thankful for you, Mike, Bow, Liz. I'm thankful for you guys to sticking with this thing. And we're over 100 subscribers, but you know, hey, let your friends know, subscribe. You know, we want to keep this thing going, so let us know how you think we're doing. And
Click like, subscribe, send a family, send to friends, please. You know, we're just two normal guys. We work regular day jobs. We actually get paid to do something, but please send it out to other people. And you know, we
yeah,
just, and tell us what you think. You know, if you think we need to do something different, we're not going to be so ticked off. You know, we can take criticism.
yeah,
We're married, so yes, we can do it.
we want to get better. We really want to get better at this. So if you've got something, suggestions, let us know. So before like my GoPro dies or your GoPro dies, everyone just, you know, sit back, relax, have a drink, and enjoy the ride. You know, anyway, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Love you, brother.